Welcome back, heroes of Dominion. Zeus here, and today we're diving into the Earth Totem skill tests that could completely change your Guild War defenses. I've run battle after battle to uncover the skill combinations that turn Earth into a wall fire teams can't break, and one pairing in particular is on another level. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly which skills are worth your investment and which ones to skip. Like with my previous totem skill tests, I spent hours running countless battles against Earth teams to figure out which totem skills give them the biggest advantage. Since the recent skill fixes, I can confidently say that every skill now makes a noticeable difference for Earth teams. In fact, you can easily see this yourself. Set any totem skill for Earth, then pit them against a fire team with no totem skills, and fire will lose. The advantage is that clear. For today's test, I built a standard Earth defense team with Araji leading the charge, and attacked it using 4 Fire Titans alongside Hyperion. Fire, of course, has an elemental advantage against Earth, so this matchup is perfect for figuring out which Earth totem skills really hold up under pressure. In these battles, the attacking fire team had no totem skills, and the entire test was done in training mode with max level settings. Now, you might be wondering why I set the Earth team on defense rather than offense. The reason is simple: in Guild Wars, I can pick and choose my targets on offense, but my defense is locked in. I can't change it based on who attacks me. That means if I'm setting Earth as my defensive team, I want to know exactly which skills give me the best chance of surviving against the most common attackers. And in this case, that's usually fire. If the new skills don't tip the balance, then there's no reason to invest in them. From all my testing, 3 elemental skills stood out: Flame Dance, Depth Whisper, and Murmur of the Crags. Other skills performed decently, but these 3 had the highest defensive impact. Let's start with Flame Dance. This skill summons a blazing vortex that sweeps through the enemy team, hitting nearby enemies hard. At max level, it deals 884,812 damage on every activation. It works a lot like the Fire Totem's base skill, so when your Earth defense answers a fire attack with equally devastating fire damage, the tables turn fast. In fact, the damage output is so high that the specific secondary skill you run with it doesn't seem to matter much in these situations. At this stage, fire teams were losing almost every time, so I decided to mix things up and bring in a different attacking lineup: 2 Light Titans and 3 Dark Titans, Brewstar, Rigel, Mort, Solaris, and Tenebris. This combination is known for cutting through older elemental setups like fire, earth, and water, so I wanted to see if they'd perform better. Sure enough, Earth's defensive win rate started to drop. Next, I tested Depth Whisper. This skill creates a whirlpool that both restores health to your allied titans and damages nearby enemies over 10 seconds. Every activation restores 442,406 total health, distributed among titans who need it most, while also damaging enemies. It's similar to the Water Totem skill, and since fire is the attacker in most matchups, that water-like healing effect makes a big difference. Against fire, it worked well. Against the light/dark combo, however, Earth still started to lose more often, even with strong primal skills equipped. At this point, I started questioning my test setup. Maybe using the light/dark combination wasn't the best way to measure defensive strength. But I moved forward to test the last key skill, Murmur of the Crags, and this one really impressed me. Murmur of the Crags creates a massive rocky cascade that shields all allies from incoming damage. The shield absorbs 5,140,687 damage, and here's the kicker: it reflects double that damage back at attackers when hit. It's a brutal defensive counter. Out of all the primal skills I paired with it, one in particular stood out: Echo Aegis. With Echo Aegis, whenever a shield on one of your titans breaks, another shield immediately replaces it for 5 seconds. That new shield has durability equal to 23.5% of the titan's maximum health. When combined with Murmur of the Crags, this creates a relentless cycle of protection and counter damage that's very hard to break through. Based on these results, I believe the best defensive setup for Earth right now is Murmur of the Crags paired with Echo Aegis. Now, the big question, should you invest in these two skills for your Earth Titans? My answer depends on your roster. If Earth is your only fully developed elemental team and your other elements are still weak, then yes, go ahead and invest. You'll see immediate benefits in guild wars and other defensive situations. But if you already have all 5 elemental teams maxed, I recommend waiting for the full totem skill analysis. We're going to go through every element one by one, and it's possible that 2 different elements will have the same top skill. If that happens, for example, if both Earth and Light rely on Murmur of the Crags, then only one of them will trigger in battle, which could affect your investment strategy. So for now, Earth mains can move forward, but balanced accounts should wait until the full breakdown is ready. So, to wrap it up, today's tests showed us exactly which Earth Totem skills can turn your defense into a true fortress. Flame Dance, Depth Whisper, and especially Murmur of the Crags with Echo Aegis stood out as the strongest combinations, and now you know when it's worth investing in them and when to wait. I want to hear your thoughts. Which skills have worked best for your Earth team? Have you seen similar results, or something completely different? Drop your experience in the comments, I read everyone. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big strategy. Remember, knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Go out there, apply what you've learned, and dominate the battlefield. Salute and friendship.